The Gifted. Hey everyone, welcome to the ride back. I think I've given enough time for everyone to watch the Gifted Season 1 finale, and I think it's about time for me to give some thoughts on it. I think I am definitely going to do a little bit of spoilers in this one, so that's why I want to give everyone enough time to watch it. And, that time has come and passed, I think. I think it's been enough time. But if you don't want it to be spoiled, go watch it and then, come on right back. All right, first thing I want to go over is where we started off. In the beginning of the series, we started off with the Strucker kids, Andy and Lauren, developing their powers and having to go into hiding. And that plays an important role for what the end of the show, or what the last episode of Season 1 was all about. And that is the Mutant Underground. The Mutant Underground has been repeatedly assaulted, and they're trying to escape from the Sentinel Services, the main human bad guys of the series. But in the season finale, we have two subplots going on. The first is Andy and Lauren are with their father going after Reed, their father's mother, because they're worried the Sentinel Service will come after her the same way that they came after his father. So as they go off and do that, Andy and Lauren are basically watching, on guard. They're on guard. And Sentinel Services approaches, and this is very important. Andy reacts in a very aggressive way. He immediately attacks them, even though they really haven't done anything yet. I mean, obviously, they're going to try to arrest them, and they're going to do bad things to them. But Andy reacts aggressively. Lauren reacts kind of defensively. And it comes to the head where Andy attacks the two guards, or the two Sentinel Service guys, and they use their powers against one another, and they blow each other back. So you see this rift forming between the Strucker twins. Andy can pull things apart, and Lauren pulls things together. So when you put their powers together, they become the super destructive force. But now you see this bond between them in terms of ideology ripping apart. And that's one part. We'll get back to that in a little bit. But on the other half, the other plots going on is Blink, Polaris, and Thunderbird are all being influenced by what they call the Frost Girls, Frost Sisters. But they are a lot of them. They're called the Stepford Cuckoos. I had to look this up, and I was like, there's no way that's their real name. But it is. So they are going off to I think it's called Humanity Today meeting, where they've got all these people that are concerned about mutants rising up. And their plan is to abduct Dr. Kimball, the leader or creator of the Hounds, the mutants that he's brainwashed and turns against other mutants. So, what they end up doing is that they fail to get Dr. Kimball, so they have to retreat. And the Stepford Cuckoos, can't be their name. It can't be. It's so stupid. One of the Frost sisters basically talks to Polaris and is like, hey, you know who your father is, right? And if you don't know already, Polaris is the father. Polaris is the daughter of Magneto, which is kind of obvious when you think about it, because she's got all the magnetic powers. So she convinces Polaris to make a second attempt But this time it's a fatal attempt. It's more of an assassination. So she waits at a tarmac where they've got a jet getting ready to pull out, and Polaris, Blink, and Thunderbird all race to try to stop her. They get to her in time, but she still decides to do it. She rips the engines out of the sky as the plane is taking off, causing the plane to crash, killing Dr. Kimball, a United States senator, and a lot of other innocent lives on the jet. So this is where she's made her turn, and this is where season 2 is going to differ from season 1, or at least how I think it's going to go. In season 1, we dealt with humans versus mutants. Very, very clear line with there. Humans versus mutants. And with that, we now are going to have a different dynamic. One of the Stepford Cuckoo sisters comes back to the Mutant Underground after Mutant Underground got run off. Mutant Underground was besieged by Sentinel Services and Hound, and Andy and Lauren had to hold them off, which was a good unifying part of that, but it wasn't enough. So as the other mutants escaped, they held off Sentinel Services. They escaped, and then Polaris comes back to where their meeting rendezvous point was. And now, Polaris is back, and she's like, "All right, who's joining with me?" So you have the Mutant Underground on one side, which is essentially the X-Men, and you have what they're calling the New Hellfire Club, which is essentially the New Brotherhood. So Polaris leads that, and here's where the dynamic comes in with Andy and Lauren. As I mentioned earlier, you saw a rift between the two, and sure enough, when it comes to which side are they going to choose, Andy decides to go with Polaris and the New Hellfire Club, and Lauren stays behind with the Mutant Underground. So you see, we're going to have a mutant versus mutant dynamic in season 2. I don't know if it's been greenlit yet by Fox to have season 2, but if they do, I can tell where they're going to go with it. In addition to all that, Corey Bell's character, the leader of Sentinel Services, the agent, he has basically given up his badge. He's thrown it away, says, "All right, you guys will not do what's necessary. These mutants are killing our people," and he's still very rocked by his daughter's death at the hands of a mutant, even though it was an accident. And I think what's going to happen with him is he is either going to go vigilante and start attacking and killing mutants on his own, or he is going to find a more extreme group that will do whatever's necessary to basically end mutants and mutant kind. This is, I think, very possible, where if we're going to go on to season 2, they're probably going to introduce, I believe it's FOH, Friends of Humanity, or it's either that or FFH, which is Friends for Humanity. It's one of the two. Or I could be wrong entirely. Someone will correct me in the comments. But the Friends of Humanity are essentially like these incredibly radical, let's just call them what they are, racist groups against mutants. I think that might be where they'll get introduced into the X-Men verse, which is now part of Disney if they're going to be merged. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, that's the end of season 1 of The Gifted. I ranked it as one of my top 5 favorite superhero TV shows of 2017, and I really love where this one wound up at the end. Oh boy. Next up will be Gotham by Gaslight. It comes out February 6th. So I'll be looking forward to that. We're only a few days away. And hopefully I'll have more content for y'all in the future. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. And once again, if you haven't checked out The Gifted, do it. It's some good superhero stuff, man. Really like this one. All right, later. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and please take a minute to like, comment, and subscribe for more super videos.